Right. So I was trying to figure out how you felt about this particular game, and then
Um,
I could not hear any answer at all.
okay, so basically, what I was saying was, I thought out of the opening, like I had more of the sides and the corners, so I felt good, like from a territory standpoint, and I thought the game was going to hinge on him fighting for points in the center and me trying to blow up the center basically and make it to where there would be no points. And then I guess I wasn't very successful in that. At some point, it felt like it became more about who's going to get more points in the center.
Okay.
And he was able to get a bigger chunk of the center, and maybe I neglected the
So
left too much because he got a
I
ton of points on the left.
so I just gave you control. If there was one spot where you thought the game turned against you, could you locate it, please?
Okay, let me.
Unless
Um,
you have absolutely no idea, that's fine too.
yeah, it's probably going to be tough for me to pinpoint it, but I'll do my best.
That's fine. I just tried to get people to narrow down what or get a sense for how they think the game went, so
Yeah.
I can see what kind of level they're on.
Sorry, I'm just gonna like click around a bit.
No
Um,
problem, no problem.
I mean, I'm thinking probably somewhere around here. Like, I started building up into the center, and like I thought this over on the left was going well. Like, I thought that line was good for me, and then here he started getting a bigger and bigger chunk. So somewhere around here, like now he's
Okay.
got a nice slice of the center, and I don't know if it's that I made a bad move and let this happen, or if this was always going to be the case and I just wasn't fighting for the right thing. But yeah, somewhere around here where he starts to draw like a little box in the center where he's going to get some
Okay.
points.
Um, so the reason why I ask is because here is a little bit too late, so need to call
Okay.
your attention a little bit earlier into the game. I'm going to take control back.
Okay, sure.
So the reason why I say that now is a little bit too late, there are a couple of different reasons for that. The first reason, Black, go away. We don't care about you right now. The first reason is there is a little bit of complicated stuff here. There's a complicated reason here, such as there's this Hane here.
Yeah.
There is a life and death problem in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
which he can use to jump inside and ruin your day completely.
Mm.
That's going to be a very big problem because, as you can see here, there's no longer room for two eyes. So this would end in a kill for white,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Now, that is not something you should be seeing for a couple of more months.
Yeah.
That is just something for your chat to enjoy.
Yeah.
Now, that aside, the question then becomes, well, why was he able to play here? Because I'm noticing immediately there is a Hane. He clearly ignored it. So it seems that this connection was just left for a very long time. So if I shift click this stone,
Yeah.
I can get a sense of when you played it. He played here, and then you played there. That's a little odd because that says that you threatened to link up. He did not prevent you from doing so, and then you kind of just agreed that that wasn't worth doing, when I would do it immediately because my moves have value. If
Yeah.
this isn't large enough to respond to, then I shouldn't have played it in the first place, and I probably needed something else to play instead. So we threatened to connect. He said that we can go ahead and do it. Fantastic. Now, the upside of that is, assuming the right-hand side doesn't come back and haunt us, there is a good chance that that then nets us an enormous amount of points. Like,
Yeah.
all of this is stuff that he just can't contend with that is now in your corner
Mm-hmm.
and spreading along the outside. That's pretty cool. So that's
Yeah.
one
So
really, really huge thing that we can immediately fix in the play. If you threaten to do something, your opponent doesn't respond to it, follow it up. If you don't like it, then next game you can say, okay, I tried this, I didn't like it, I need to play a bigger move or a faster move or something like that.
Yeah. So
Make
I
sense?
think, yeah, absolutely. I think when I played S12, I don't think I was ever for a moment thinking about trying to connect up to the top. I think I thought that I needed S12 to prevent him from doing something like S11 and trying to come in and kill me. And that was really my only thought was, how do I save this group kind of floating in the middle on the right side? And it never really occurred to me to link them up. But
Okay, that's actually interesting because to me, I'm seeing the same thing again elsewhere on the board.
Okay.
where it looks like from here you threatened to do something and you didn't follow it up. Now,
Yeah.
without saying where it is, can you guess on this board state right now where that other move is?
I'm gonna guess O2.
Yeah. It seems like you're threatening to link up underneath, but it's not quite happening.
Yeah.
And that's a really huge connection because if he gets to, nope, sorry, Black, we still don't care about you. If he gets to disconnect you here,
Mm-hmm.
then suddenly you don't have enough room to live locally.
Yeah.
Because this, as you notice later on, is a problem. This, as you notice later on, is a problem. And now, here is the problem that a lot of Q players make. They get to this position, they've studied life and death, and they say, it's okay, I'm not going to die here, therefore I'm okay with this position. Unfortunately, being attacked is worth about 1 billion points.
Yeah.
Rounding it thereabouts. So we don't want this to happen, because if we have to run, because again, we can't live locally, he can just kind of follow us, not even trying to kill, just forcing us to not be dead. And that is how an area like this can grow.
Yeah.
We had no idea that could have happened on this board until we have the weak group. Now, if we had spent a move to connect, if he tries to do the same thing, we're nice and safe. So screw him and the horse he rode in on. I'm going to go invade now.
Yeah.
So that is a difference, completely turning around the entire game on its head.
Yeah.
Night and day difference. So little things like that, making sure that you maintain your connections, little things like maintaining your connections are really, really cool.
Gotcha.
Now, the next thing that seems to look a little bit strange is this. Why is there an almost Panuki on the top of the board with a small knight extension from it? That is the next really, really strange shape that kind of jumps out to my mind. So I'd want to go back in here. Corner approach is fine. We go corner, side, center. This is a corner. Checks out. You backed off. It's fine. Let's see. What are you? 16Q? Yeah, I'll say this is fine.
Okay.
You can also back off to the start point. That's okay. Or you can do the OG Joseki where you make this exchange first.
Oh yeah, I've seen this Joseki. I really don't have very many Josekis filed away in the brain. So
yeah, it's not a big difference where you are right now. The difference between this and this doesn't really matter. It's just if you play here, he can kick you, and that's kind of irritating. But it's fine. He took an enclosure. So ideally speaking, we want to do either something to take away his extension from his enclosure, because that is a really, really easy way to get yourself points, get an enclosure, extend from it. Yay, points. However, you will take note that you also have an extension, so you could just as easily take an enclosure for yourself.
Okay.
That way, when he takes his enclosure, he's kind of playing catch up, because you've got your enclosure, you expanded from it. He got an enclosure, he's just expanding off of it, and now it's your turn, so you could play, whatever large move happens to strike your fancy.
Right.
That is a very, very common. I don't want to say it's a good idea to follow. If there's an enclosure, block an extension. If there's an extension, block the enclosure. Now, there are exceptions to that, but that usually comes more along the single digits.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. I've heard you say that in at least one of your YouTube videos about the extension from an enclosure being very good, and you generally don't want to let your opponent get both if you can help it. But I guess I just forgot in this position.
No problem. So he played there. What did you do? You pincered. That's fine. For where you are right now, if there was no other stones on this board, I would say, yeah, sure, pincer. Why not? Because when we pincer, we're actively saying we have no idea where our territory is coming from. No clue. Maybe they're going to lean on us. Maybe they're going to go into our corner. Maybe they're going to just bug off and do something completely different. We have no clue how they're going to respond next.
Yeah.
Now, on this board, we do have a clue because you just played K3. So what we could do is be like, you know what? I'm going to go and connect those two together. That way, all of a sudden, this happy little area becomes mine.
Yeah.
So because we played K3, we can back off here instead of pincer, and we could be nice and happy.
Gotcha.
That said, this isn't problematic. That became a problem. By aiding the right-hand side, you just said, this stone is more important than this stone. Now, let's see if that's true. If he... you go away. So if he takes the move that you just played, you can still leave. You can jump out. You can lean on him. You can play something weird. You can play something fast. Like, any move that you want to play in here is probably going to be fine.
Yeah, I've still got options. Okay.
Now, if he plays here, can you still get out?
Doesn't look so good.
Yeah, looks a little bit problematic.
Yeah.
So that's the one we want to worry about first. And the edge of the board is a real dick in that regard, because this is turning in, this is a wall, this is a wall, and this is a wall. So one more move, and there's 4 walls surrounding your corner, which is going to squeeze you to death.
Yeah.
So that's not so happy. So we want to play something to not let that happen. We could still go 4th line here, because 4th line territory is pretty sexy. And as we just discussed, even if he pincers you, you have a choice to either save it, or you can go back and take the large move I just mentioned previously, get an enclosure to go with your extension. He kills off your stone. Too bad, so sad. Then play a bigger move.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's really hard for me to even consider like just saying goodbye to a stone at all, but especially like this early in the game when I feel like I'm trying to like stake like every stone, I'm trying to stake out territory. But yeah, I guess I need to get better about just letting them go in some cases.
Well, again, you don't have to let it go. If you want to save it, you could go ahead and do that too.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's fine. If you want to save the stone, you can save the stone. If you want to get rid of the stone, you can get rid of the stone. Great thing about Go is you can care about your moves, or just throw them in the garbage can.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's equally good. Depends entirely on the kind of game you want to play. If you want to play fighty and you want to see if you can kill something, save everything. Make the board as complicated as possible. And that's completely fine. If you want to build, cool. Take your enclosures first, and then maybe closer to end game or not end game, mid game, or closer into middle of mid game. Then you can start fighting.
Yeah.
You know, you got your choices.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't been playing long enough to really know what my style is, but I guess that's going to come pretty soon, hopefully.
For you right now, I would say try and connect up your groups. This is basic for all DDKs. You want to connect up your groups and find largest point of the board. And hopefully don't leave too many cutting points behind. Right now, you don't have a style. Yeah. Qs do not have a style.
Right.
Dons barely have a style, because to have a style, you need a good shape for whatever that quote-unquote style is. You need to be able to find where the large points so you can actively work towards whatever that style is. You need like a whole bunch of these tools in your toolbox that, until you kind of like get a good handle on them, you really can't say you have a style. Yeah. Like, even I could barely say I have a style. Yeah. I just like killing things. It's not always a good idea. I just like trying to do it. Right. All right, so he did surround you. Oh, shoot. Ouch. All right, so they're going to live. Gotcha. He took his enclosure from his extension. Now, interesting thing here, this isn't the end of the world, because eeny, meeny, miny, this one's further. You can take your enclosure, and we have a unique situation here. We have an enclosure, and we have an extension on both sides of the enclosure, which is known as a double wing. That's actually pretty good for you. Chances are he can reduce some of it, but not all of it. Like, if he plays here, for example, okay, sure. Maybe he'll ruin this side, but can he really also reduce the top when these 3 stones are still not alive? So yeah, He'll
Yeah.
reduce half of it, but who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Always going to happen. Now, what's interesting here, you can... I was going to tell you to do something, but I'm not going to right now. That'll
Okay.
happen later. I do like that you're looking after K3. I don't like that you're looking at it by strengthening the stones that's surrounding your corner. That's how you usually kill yourself.
Okay.
And I admit,
10 out of 10.
Go is a great game. This game is, in a nutshell, a game which we're trying to convince the other opponent to kill themselves.
Okay,
So
that's a funny
he's
take.
doing his job. Sorry, what?
I said I've never heard that put that way, but that's a funny take on it.
But it totally is. Like, you can't really kill a group unless you can convince the other opponent to forget that they're dying.
Yeah.
It's like, no, go do something else. Just keep bleeding to death in the corner. That's a good boy. And yeah, that's great. So we don't want to do this because you are jamming his stones against your corner. And if you keep trying to do life over in here, then he just convinced you to kill yourself.
Yeah. I really wasn't sure about N3 at all. It felt like that stone needed a base, or it was just like it looked like it was too far to run with it. Maybe that's just poor reading on my part, but I guess reading is not the right word. I like that you're running, but I'm going to get into the direction in a minute. For now, I have a question in the bottom right-hand corner, though. Let's say this actually happened in your game. Bottom right-hand corner, let's say you're white. How to kill? Do you know? Okay, let me think for a second.
This is a very common corner problem that comes up in so many games, so I thought I'd go ahead and ask.
I mean, my instinct says that black would want to play S1 maybe, so maybe white should play S1, but that's doing very little reading. I mean, I'm looking at like, okay, if white starts pushing in with T4 or R1.
So, and like where you are with that in and of itself. Okay. Because you established where black's vital point is. Black wants to play S1, so I want to take vital point for myself. That's actually a proverb.
Right, okay.
So that's a great place to start off.
Yeah, okay.
Now what?
I'm thinking... I think I want S2, and then I'm either going to play T1 or S3, depending on what black does, and then that's just going to be a dead shape. No matter how black responds, no matter how black responds, this is dead. Plays here, you can play there, and play here, and you can play there. Because unfortunately, not Seki. Some new players get confused and think this is a Seki because they can't make this shape, and they can't make this shape. But unfortunately, for those of you who in chat who maybe can't see it, once you play on the outside, get rid of all the liberties, then black has to connect anyway, in which case they're dead. Yeah.
So, cool. Now, back to this. Since we do not want to strengthen the stones that are trying to squeeze the life out of our corner, the direction that we want to go is either up, because it's nicely open here, so there's probably joy to be found in the middle, or we can attach to the other side, because there is nothing over here.
Right.
So who cares about strengthening that? So right was the wrong way. Need to go left or up.
Yeah.
And we do that because we don't really want to get this group involved in hurting our corner anymore.
Gotcha.
So I like the attachment, just did it on the wrong group over here.
Gotcha.
This is fantastic. I would connect instantly because, again, a weak group is worth infinity points. Your opponent can start getting creative and make this flee in ways you never imagined. Even pros can't always imagine how they're going to get attacked if they have a weak group on the board, which is also why they go out of their way to make sure that they don't really have them. Unless they want to kill them off, I guess. That's another story.
So I guess the flip side of that coin is, like, if I see a group that I think is weak, like, I should almost always be thinking about attacking it.
It depends on if there is a large point for you on the board and if there is
Yeah.
a weak group of yours on the board.
Okay.
Because the next mistake people make is they'll attack something, which is good, but if you lose Sente while you're attacking it and your opponent gets a bigger move, then the attack kind of just hurt you instead of help.
Yeah, okay, I got
so
you.
we try to keep that kind of thing confined to the mid game after the corners are taken care of. And right now,
Makes
I wouldn't
sense.
want to perform an attack until we see what the question is over here.
Right.
Is this going to enclose? Do I get to approach? And I might even want to do something over in here, and that comes to our next problem. You played over here. I would, again, take the enclosure because we've got enclosure and twin extensions, because that'd be fantastic. But let's say we already had that. And let's say you wanted to invade this area. Nothing else matters. Any idea where you play? I'm going to invade this area.
So I'm kind of at the point where if I think of invading, I just think I'm going to play the 3/3, but I'm thinking maybe C6 is a better move.
C6. Okay, that is the normal approach. That is better than the 3/3.
Okay.
Hands down. A small knight that has a 3/3, you're looking at this. Now, I'm not going to get too complicated here. Suffice to say, there's a whole bunch of really bad variations here that could either lead to KO or straight out killing you, but we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
The question you have to ask yourself, though, more than that, is this your opponent's win condition? If he gets this, do you lose?
No, I wouldn't say so.
All right, so what does he need to get to win?
I think he needs the whole left, probably. I mean, I guess that's why C6 is better.
Right. This is the area you're looking at, not the corner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would go with C6. I do like that. If you want to pick up a Joseki, you could play here.
Okay.
This is really weird. You probably haven't seen it before.
No.
The reason why is because you are aware of the term Miai.
Yes.
So if your opponent doesn't respond, you can go into the 3/3. Easy life. If your opponent does respond, you can get a base still. The reason why this is slightly better than the one that you played, or you suggested, is because if you play this one, you're going to get kicked. Then when you get kicked, you're going to get pincered. So we have no base here. As opposed to here where we're going to have a base, or here where we're going into the corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have to file this one away. I sort of like that.
This is one of the most common invasions you're ever going to see, and I'm pretty sure they teach this to DDKs in Korea, which is why I mention it.
Okay.
This invasion point is super common.
Gotcha.
Or, well, that one, but the one I got. Where are you? That
B5,
one,
yeah.
Yeah. All right, you jumped out. Not bad. Explain this.
Oh, man. I'm going to try to go back to my mental state when I played that. I think... Yeah, I was worried about him playing F16.
So if you played here, he's going to play here?
I guess. I mean, I don't think F18 was on my radar. I think I was debating between... Like, if I hadn't played G16, I probably would have continued developing with, like, F13 or something.
Well, you're obviously going to respond locally because your stone just got damaged. And if you don't respond locally... Oops, don't. Well, we're not doing that. He can Hane, and then he can, like, push you back, and then there's a cutting point, so he can peep at that, and it's just not a good shape. So, rule of thumb, if you are capped, shoulder hit, or your liberties are reduced in any way, you probably want to give serious consideration to responding.
Gotcha.
Just so bad things can't happen to you. Later on, as you get better at reading, you'll know if you have to, but right now, it's a good rule of thumb to just do it.
Okay, gotcha.
So here, we're going to drop down or connect. I don't really care which. Play here or here. It's fine. Either way, we helped our stone. This one I prefer personally because later on, maybe there's a jump over in here.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Or we can get more aggressive and do the 3-3 stuff. I don't know. But here we can't really do anything. There's no real follow-up. We just look kind of stupid now.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we're making. Apparently, this is no longer Go. It's turned into Harry Potter because we're making lightning bolts on the board. And I don't know what the point of that is.
Yeah, well, when you put it that way.
Uh-huh. This was good. Okay. That's fine. You could also just come out directly.
I was torn between those two, but this was sort of the point in the game where I started taking stock of the side territory and how I thought both sides were doing. And I thought if I just kept most of the right and I had most of the top, most of the bottom, this is what I thought I was going to get, then I would be looking good, even though he got like all of the left.
Interesting. You're actually 50% correct with that answer.
Okay.
You said that the sides are being developed, right?
Yeah.
So what's after the sides?
The center.
And if he gets to play this way, what's he getting?
He's getting the center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we come up, he's not getting a fresh wall from the middle of the board. And I heard you say this during your game. If he drops down, you can high head of 2 stones. I know.
Yeah.
It scares you. But we can double high head of 2 stones as well. We should be fine here. If you're uncomfortable with this one, you can just do it once and then come out. That's fine too.
Yeah, I always get scared about the Atari with the double Hane there.
Yep, that's fine. You can just do this one. It's good too.
Okay.
The bonus on this is, well, there's a couple of bonuses. The main one is he's still looking for a way to live. He doesn't want to die here.
Yeah.
And that's good for you. If he keeps giving you like stuff on the outside, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't bad. That, however, is a little bit bad for him.
Okay.
I really, really, really want a Hane there, but you extended, that's fine. That, I like that he's making shape. Unfortunately, he's killed himself.
But because I didn't see it.
How do you connect this to this on your move? It's hard to do, right? Because you can Hane the head of 2 stones again. There's that stupid proverb again.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Is he going to Hane? But that means you get to Atari. Does he connect? That means you get to Atari. So what just happened to these 2 stones?
Yeah.
They wanted to not die.
Yeah.
Poor stones. Poor stones. All right, so you're playing here. I like it, but again, this is where you would want to play here. Make sure he doesn't develop that huge area that you were worried about.
Right.
Or, just kill him just for kicks. Either or. I like that. Now, I'm going to say for right now, because I don't know when to point set otherwise. For a very long time, after this point, this was an invasion, though it's extremely hard to see a not DDK level. I'm just going to show it to you to give you food for thought.
Okay.
Because this is not going to work against you, because that just ladders and it dies.
Yeah.
And if he plays here to kill you, oops. How is he going to kill you? Hane? Not double Hane.
Yeah.
Because that just dies. So he has to extend and extend and extend. You're alive already.
Yeah. Yeah, that was absolutely never on my radar.
Yeah, this was actually hanging around for a very, very, very long time. So
okay.
If you have Sente, this is a pretty big thing, unless you play the that point over there.
Gotcha.
That's also a pretty good thing. He did poke at you. This is where bad things start happening.
Yep.
This is where you acknowledge you can't live locally and you just leave.
Yeah.
Because if we can't live locally, attempting to does not make any sense.
Right. Yeah, I think I got lucky that he didn't follow up with J3, and I got to play J3 later on.
Playing here is fantastic. He needs to save his stone. And then this is where shape comes in, because we want to make a shape. I forget, which one did you make? You did.
I eventually made some kind of
Oh.
doghead table-ish kind of
Yeah.
thing.
See, here we're in denial. We're still trying to live locally
Yeah.
when we can't.
Oh.
So, this is where we need to just like bug out and leave this area. It's
Yeah.
not helping us.
Gotcha.
So to that end, I would be wanting to make either just a 2-space. We can jump 2 spaces because we've got about a 3-stone wall here ish.
Mhm.
So we can go a little bit further. We can make a little what's that thing called? Horsey head. There we go.
Hmm.
And that is what I think this thing is referring to.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. I knew doghead with the regular small knight jump there.
Yeah, there we don't want to play that. We want to play here. And you know what?
Huh.
This one might even be Sente. It's hard to see now. You'll see this more as you're ranking up.
Mhm.
But if he ignores you, this is when we start just dividing things apart. Divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm.
If the bottom group isn't connecting to the middle group, can it still live locally? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Maybe poke at that first and then divide it? Where's its eyes? I don't know. Maybe something to do later. This is cool. If he's in your chat, I would play here though, because you want to get rid of that stupid 3-3. Because right now it might work, and this ain't helping matters.
Yeah.
If the 3-3 works, that did not defend it at all. There could still be Aji back in there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, slow.
Yeah, he is listening.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, these two are just really, really slow moves.
Oh,
Need
okay.
to go a little bit faster.
I thought I was making
but-
eye shape here, and I was happy, but
I mean, you are making shape, which is good. Is good. I would seriously just play faster because I don't want to be capped.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it kind of goes back to weak groups are worth infinity points.
Yeah.
If you're not alive 100% right now, and he can keep poking here, then you notice he's getting another wall in the middle of the board.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's not good.
Rough. Yeah. So I'd rather just be like, you know what? I'm leaving. Make sure I'm not being surrounded. Have access to the middle. All that good stuff.
Yeah.
The attachment here is interesting. All right. Now here is something that we unfortunately can't respond to. And you identified it in your game because you were worried over and over again about the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we reduce or we resign. Those are your two choices.
Yeah.
Because if he takes fourth mine territory, top to bottom, then you need 4 times 19. Where are you getting that?
Yeah.
That's kind of painful.
Yeah,
So,
I guess my rough guesstimate of territories didn't quite add up there.
Well, it's kind of easy to guess this board because if you aren't going to invade, like you can make that decision now, am I ever invading him? If the answer is no, where do you have the entire side of the board?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I thought that the territory that I had on top was coming close, but I guess it's really not. I guess I'm probably like 20, 25 points shy, and I don't have that on the side, the right, and on the bottom right.
Yeah, so, because your side isn't going all the way over to the left, so at the very least, you're shy there.
Yeah.
You could also be shy here if he cuts you off, and then pushes you back. Keeps poking you.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps poking you. And if you respond to here, like, yeah, it's just way too small.
Yeah.
So here, before it gets any more developed, we either invade him or the game's over.
Yeah. That was a note that I've been given recently, is that I'm a little too hesitant to invade.
Mm-hmm. Well, ideally, it would come before this.
Yeah, because he's got a lot.
Like, the invasion's gonna die.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I think the only thing that's a chance of working is what I mentioned over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even sure that still works anymore because it looks like you just play here and you get killed.
Mm.
But might as well give it a shot, or the 3-3, one of the two.
Yeah.
See what works. See what happens.
Yeah.
After this, it's just slowly watching someone be strangled to death.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Like, I never really had a sense that I was like dead lost at this point. But
well, yeah, because now he has like the entire left, and he just pulled all of this out of his hat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it doesn't look so good in retrospect.
No. Because like essentially, if he just got this area here, we can make a small box, and we can just envision a similar box here. That means the top has to be worth the entire left again, and we just know that's not. Like that's as far as I don't even want to use the word count, estimate. Yeah. I do that kind of estimation, and then I'm done. Then I can look for more important things, like where's the Aji? It's like, oh hey, there's Aji over here. Maybe I can kill something.
Yeah.
This was so close to being correct. Like you could have played here, and there's nothing there. You could have played here, same thing.
Yeah, I thought basically my calculation was like he's gonna get that second line cut one direction or the other, and I just felt like
now he's got to connect first, then you get to defend one.
Right, but then once I defend,
right.
I thought once I defended, like, okay, now I thought he had, like, I thought even after S11 he could play there, yeah.
Yep, he can, but he can't get you into a Liberty shortage.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that I could connect under. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately here, I'm glad you backed off because this was about to be very, very, very sad.
Yeah. That would not have been good.
That would have been a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
This was okay. This is better.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you got this other group involved in whether or not you're alive or dead, I began to worry for you again.
Oh.
Because now you're undercut and you can't answer it. So was there Aji under there? Those are the kind of thoughts that we do not want to ask ourselves.
So it's like earlier we were talking about connecting, groups like this, connecting these weak groups together. So it's like if it works, it's great, but if it doesn't work, then it's terrible because he's getting to like attack both at once.
Well, that's not even the conversation because earlier on, we should have connected.
Right, yeah.
And then we don't have to worry about the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Here, whoops. Here, same thing. We're fine because, okay, black does not get to play repeatedly. Because after he's an Atari, you get to defend your cutting point, whichever one's weakest. Weakest one is on this side because we can count, hey, this has got like no liberties.
Yeah.
So we'll defend here. The corner is extremely strong, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're good. You're connected. And that's why you don't want to wait to see things like this one. Because now you're a life and death problem. Your group is entirely surrounded. And you have to find 2 eyes to make while you're undercut.
Right.
That's the problem. That's the importance of connecting up our groups.
Gotcha.
I think that about covers it. This was good. I like that. I do like that one. Could have played here immediately. Glad you defended though. You weren't sure. That's cool. This, however, was playing your life again. I'd be like, "Yup."
Well, yeah. K7. I was trying to set a trap. I thought after K7, like if he didn't do anything, then I might have L10.
And then you could have played here and be like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll call your bluff. Are you really going to kill those in exchange for your corner? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize.
At that point, you're morally committed. You have to take them and just watch your corner die.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. I said I wanted those. I'm taking them.
Yeah.
Corner sucks. I didn't want it in the first place. I think that about covers that. And then, yeah, they tried some stuff here. Where was it? Yeah, this. I don't think you got any of that wrong, right? When you came in?
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, here.
When I took on N2, but then he kind of walked in with like N4, M4, L4.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure
this is fine.
If that trade-off was good or if I lost a point or two there.
More importantly, over here, you're worried about him living. How can he live? He can make 2 eyes, which, I mean, he's not ever, 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 ever doing that in here.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine how many stones in a row he'd have to play
Yeah.
to, like, actually find 2 eyes. It's just never a thing. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So he has to kill you. So where can he kill you? Well, there's the cutting point right there. Boom, done. That ends whatever madness he had in mind.
Yeah, I even saw, like, I thought that was where maybe he was wanting to play. I was just so concerned with my, like, little dumpling of stones at, like, F8, that group that's connected like that. But I guess I was probably just seeing ghosts there.
Now, I don't want to harp on about this, but it's really important that you see the simple move because you played the fancy move where, yes, technically, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
But in some games, you might find that not being true.
Right, yeah.
And you might wind up having to give up something even though technically you're okay. It's just better to just see the cut point. That's his only hope, ending it.
Yeah,
I would love to say after you get out of DDK, they're not going to throw in anymore. I'd be lying to you. I've seen 9 Dons do it, and I just want to just throw something at my monitor and be like, you guys are supposed to be better than this. What are you doing? You're setting a terrible example. But yeah, it's going to happen all your Go career. So seeing the simple move, it's gonna pay off.
Save some pain.
And I think that's about it. Oh, he missed something too, didn't he? Yes, he did. So technically, it would have been better for him to play a couple of things. He played this one. Sure, why not? He could play here because this one hurts. If you do that, that's funny.
Yeah, that's the kind of mistake I would make too.
Yeah, so you've got to like Hane here, then he gets to Atari, and then you take a gun, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think that's the last thing. Yeah, any questions?
No, I mean, just thank you so much for the review. That's very helpful. I mean, I'm really enjoying getting to learn the game, and it's great having, you know, guys like you that are helping me out, you know, when I've only been playing for less than a month. So I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yep, no problem. Well, good luck with your stream then, and good luck with your games.